being in this constituency that it doesn't feel that I am coming to them, but also they're coming to work with us. As you can see, sometimes they bring local produce for us. They help her on. It's almost like neighbors. Some bring breakfast for me, so it's a community. The children after school, they come here, so we have ice cream and toys for them when they come from school this afternoon. And perhaps we'll set up a place where they can also do their homework while they're here as well. So this is what it has been. It's been family incorporated, a very smooth transition to here.
What were some of the areas you guys visited? If you went
yes, I did. We went to, I think it's called the Gardens. We passed through the Gardens. We go into the Trents tonight again. We had our meeting last night at Eward, so we'll be doing that. Lower Carlton, Cemetery Lane. We've done most of those areas, but it's always good to go back and check in and make sure everybody's good. We had a few days of rain, so I always want to go back and make sure that everybody is safe. Because being here is not only about the representation, but we've met people, and it's important that I treat people with human dignity and respect.
And lastly, any new issues or arisen since the campaign started?
Yeah. Every day, and I think that's what is very important. And I would urge any candidate to get to know the people, get into the communities. You cannot say you're representing people without meeting the persons. I can see I'm extremely exhausted because every day we're in the community. Everyone has a different circumstance. Though it may seem similar, people have different situations that they want to deal with. I have met a mother who has a son, a 16-year-old, who has sickle cell, and she's very concerned about his health. I have met single mothers and fathers that are concerned about caring for the children and how they can, just be able to manage the economic crisis that we're dealing with. And so most of the areas that you have, the elderly, the impact that we have, I've met some persons in Bakers where there was actually a house for 3 disabled individuals. And that is very concerning. And so when you see those matters, and I have to say that, and as much as I want to share those intimate interactions, I think there's certain things I'll just keep to myself for now, because when we do the intervention, we want to keep it as private as possible. But there's a number of issues, and as you can see, my team and I. So what has happened is that my team from this location and the other location, we have delegated the different areas we do the intervention, and so we're not waiting until the by-election on the election day to come, but we have already started working with those individuals because it's immediate.
Right, we have persons dealing with the labels and stamping the circulars as well. All right, so and we also prepare food on a daily basis for persons working in the campaign, because we have a spot meeting this evening, 6 o'clock at Trent. So the persons that will be dealing with the setup for that meeting and so forth and doing the canvassing. Right, so that's what we are basically working on now, getting our election circulars, and then just coursing through with the rest of the meetings and canvassing. I know that Felicia went out this morning doing a canvass, right? She normally would canvass with Cavell and sometimes David. Her canvasses have been going well. Over the weekend, we're using the Saturday and Sunday for mass canvass on both days, right? So getting members of the party to come in, and we will do a canvass to try to cover the entire constituency.
The other side has accused this party of body shaming the candidate on the other side. How do you guys respond to that type of, criticism or critique?
Well, we did not choose a slogan for their campaign, Going Big, which obviously is a reference to the candidate. What Ms. Dujon would have mentioned is that based on his first comments in the campaign, which was all about self, in dealing with his own size and everything. But what we are really interested in for St. James North constituency, what the representative will be doing for the residents. And that's the point that Ms. Dujon made. She's not interested in his body size. And I don't think that many of the constituents are interested. What they want to hear, what, as a representative, will you be doing for the St. James North constituency? And that's what Ms. Dujon has been focusing on. And you would have heard her, she made an appeal which would not just benefit women from St. James North, but all of Barbados, that single parents should be offered a subsidy to cope. She also spoke about the street lights, did a nighttime canvass to see for herself what the lighting situation is like within the areas after getting calls from residents that this is an issue. So she did a nighttime canvass to see the areas and then made an appeal about, yes, we need the street lighting. Also the buses, the transportation network within the constituency. This is a constituency, the buses run here along the coast. You'll be dropped off here on the coast, but people live higher up in the hills and have to walk for long distances from the bus pole to their actual home. And obviously at night and stuff like that, it's a matter of security because a lot of residents will probably work in the hospitality industry, coming home late at night. So these are all issues that Ms. Dujon would have raised. She dealt with the Western Fish Market as the community center. A great part of this constituency is really a fishing community and needs for improvement. So there's a difference. So when she made that point, we are not interested in you and your body size. We're interested in what you're doing for the constituency. So if they misinterpret that, that is at them. But they're the ones who started the campaign about going big, which was obviously a reference to him and his physical shape and everything like that in comparison to Ms. Dujon, who is obviously a much smaller person. Petite, we call her the pocket rocket, because when she goes out canvassing, it is hard to keep up with her.
We don't want to deal with personalities at this point. There are too many serious matters out there for us to be identifying self and being self-absorbed. And I think the misinterpretation was really, I think they did it maliciously to show that Felicia and the DLP is trying to attack. We don't do that. We don't even have the time nor the energy because our focus is mainly to visit as many homes, as many families as possible. And I think that's what it is, because while you have the Barbados Labour Party is focusing on one individual, the people suffering in the constituency, and that is where my interest is at this point. It's about the people.